There are only 2 days in the week, John McCoy. There is race day and not race day.
That's right.
We were just working out how many days it's been since the Knoxville Nationals.
10 days, right?
It's been a blur.
Mm-hmm.
It was a blur. This year, I feel like, was very close to a very dramatic Saturday weather situation.
Yes.
More so than it has been in some time. Everybody is a meteorologist now because they have that.
Mm-hmm.
They have a phone. How do you go with... At one point, I was worried we weren't going to get Saturday in. The word on the street on the Friday was, this is not good. What was that like for you? And what did you put in place and what did you have available to you to work out what we're going to do if it rained?
Well, yeah, I heard the same thing. You know, we started out 2 weeks in advance of the race, and the weather looked fantastic for the next 30 days. It was
going to be in the 80s. Yep.
Dandelions and sunshine. Well, I said to myself, and people would come up and say, well, at least the weather's going to be great. I'm going to quit saying that because, you know, things change, and they did. So we kind of ran Friday worried, and we was kind of starting then thinking about stuff, and none of them were good. I had forecasts saying it wasn't going to quit raining until maybe Wednesday, and, you know, we're going to run this race. So and nothing looked good. I think I felt terrible just thinking of all the things, but I decided to put that behind me till after the race Friday night.
Now, Friday was a weather right down there on the Impact 4800. Incidentally, great job by Dave and Julie Goodson. They just live and breathe this place.
Yes, they do.
Tony read out a very detailed message to the spectators. There will be severe weather tonight. We knew that even, right? They played a video. They showed a weather app. There was a text number. You could be part of a group chat.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, that's how worried we are. And, you know, and everybody says, well, I mean, overreaction. You can't overreact when it's people's safety. There's, I mean, just for example, we run a weekly show here, hopefully have 4,000 people, 3,000 or 4,000 people, and we can empty the grandstands in 5 minutes.
Yep.
Well, when you got 13,000 on this side and 7,500 on that side, it's going to take you probably 11, 12, 13 minutes. What did I say the first time? 6 minutes.
Yeah.
So double the time. They got to have someplace to reasonably go. You got to give them time to go to the car. We don't have tornado shelters, and you just got to kind of start planning that out. So we kind of move our lightning back from maybe 6 miles heading away to 15 to 25 miles is to be worried about at the Nationals. So all of those little caveats change when you deal with more people.
Yeah, and for an Aussie, the idea of severe weather doesn't compute. I was driving through Jasper County during that NASCAR IndyCar weekend, and I was hearing about tornadic activity, which was like, that doesn't sound great. Now, that's a unique situation for the Midwest in particular, right? Tornadoes are a thing.
Well, yeah, nationwide. It can happen in any state in the country, and they can happen in any month of the country. I mean, everybody just needs to know that it's weather, and severe thunderstorms can happen anytime and develop tornadoes.
So you're basically just down the road from the State Fair, which is a massive, massive undertaking of humanity. There's weather in the area at that place as well, because we're talking about the same weekends here. Mm-hmm. And you know that Saturday is looking, I would use the word sketchy. What were your options?
Well, I might backtrack a minute. Is thanks to Marion County Emergency Management, Jeff Anderson, and all the people in the county. They get together and they do select this event, or rightfully so, is one of the ones they put a special emphasis on.
Great.
They bring their incident command trailer out to the property to the south that was right next door. They bring a meteorologist out of Des Moines to come down and help if there's needed, and that's what they planned on Friday, to bring one down. I believe Friday night, Saturday morning. Maybe it was just Saturday, I'm not sure.
So you have a specific meteorologist for this event.
And this one, Jeff Anderson, of course, is the emergency management coordinator, and Mike Fowle was the meteorologist on site all day Saturday with us.
Wow, so I don't think many people knew that, because it was like, it's going to rain tomorrow, what are we going to do? Are they going to run Sunday? You know how people get, everyone's panicking. What were your options?
Well, I'm a little bit of a creature of that. I was emergency management coordinator for 13 years, and I was 911 coordinator for the county, and I've always stayed up with that. I've spent most of my life working with weather. I went to tornado classes to give classes, and all of that stuff. So, but that behind me is, you got to have a plan. I mean, we do have a plan for emergency plan at the racetrack. It's updated about every other year, just basically phone numbers and stuff. But We do try to implement it, and I guess it's my job to implement it. But the plan I'm talking about was a race plan. What was we going to do? We were able to, after the races, I went to my office on Friday night and called Jeff, and he sat down and we went over some periods that we thought it was going to rain and some periods it wasn't going to rain, and we kind of worked out a plan of, I felt if we'd had this rain event at 4 a.m. and we was going to get an inch or two, it's that little piece of dirt right over there. We was going to have to bring the rigs off the back. It was just some stuff, but it was doable. Just don't fold, because we might have a long stretch, or we might have another rain event they were calling at 1 and 3. And, I just got to say that I get kind of wrapped up in it. And I know the weather is not an exact science. And everybody gets upset when the weather forecasters say it's going to rain. Well, you know what? It did rain 11 miles from here that morning, and it rained a couple inches. Had severe weather west of us, had severe weather 30 miles west of us. The state fair had lightning, they had severe thunderstorm, and of course the meteorologists are kind of pinpointed on that, where there's 100,000 people, and we've got 25 to 30, but we're not putting them out in weather yet. So trying not to ramble, but it's just kind of the buildup of it, and that's when you got to make the decision. Are you gonna do your plan the way you stayed with the night before? Or are you going to start changing it? And I'm a firm believer in stay with your plan until you can't use it no more, and leave room in your plan for changes. So we did. I know the track crew wanted to kill me because I was worried about rain, and at the end of the day, I realized they were right. They can't believe in the weather. I mean, they have to do what they have to have a show Saturday night.
We're not asphalt, right? So the Duncans have to consider what that dirt is doing.
And I kind of made them 2 promises. I said, I promise you it's probably going to rain at 1 or 2 o'clock, and I promise you the sun ain't going to come out. Well, guess what? It just showered at 1 or 2 o'clock, and the dang sun come out. So, but that let us move. Everybody said, why did you set up hot laps at 5 and then go to 6? Had no choice. I mean, like Chris said, we're going to have a junk racetrack if we don't watch out. Can we give till 6 and work it in, and plan a little later? And the thing about weather is you're either running from it or running into it. So with a race, and in this case, it was kind of both.
Yeah.
So I felt like I was bookended by this weather. Every time I turned around to figure something out, and the Outlaws were here, and I've got to get information to them. They do the texting to all their teams and most of our teams, and then I try to get an email out. And probably, I hated to leave people out. My job is to keep Jason Reed, the general manager, informed of what I'm doing, and rightfully so. Everybody needs to be informed. So I guess when we got all that put together, we ended up at 5 o'clock. The sun came out. We pushed it back to 6, and we started getting some little blurps. The National Weather Service was going through Jeff and saying, they're looking pretty good, but they shouldn't let their guard down. And I thought Tony gave a great announcement about why some of this stuff happened.
And while you were pitting the trucks, right, the haulers in the middle, which was another discussion point.
Well, that decision had to be made beforehand, because you're not going to. I got that message out as soon as I could. At the drivers' meeting, I informed the teams that most of them were here Friday, and we was going to take care of the rest, get the word to those, is that be prepared for anything in the morning, but we're not going to put you guys in an unsafe situation over here when people can still see the race, maybe not every inch of the track, but you know what, the upper levels can, and that's why you buy up top, I guess, and I know it's sold out, but safety comes first. Safety comes first for the fans and then the teams, and we were still worried about anything that could happen. And believe me, they still had some hail, they still had some storms that night. Yeah, they weren't here, thank goodness, but we did have a rain event at 9:30 at the Checkered Flag, right at the Knoxville Airport, 2 miles south there.
Yeah, so, significant. You showed me the
radar, and it was a fairly heavy event. So it probably would have blown a few awnings up and done some things, but once you've made the decision to not unload, you can't reverse decision the next day.
Yeah.
You've already started pitting teams, getting rigs turned around. If you'd had rain, I still thought we was going to get enough that the infield could be a problem. You'd just be jammed in trying to unload and load. So.
And the complexity as well with this, John, is the balance between the show and getting the race on. And it's the Knoxville Nationals. It deserves to have fireworks and lasers and crowd interaction. It deserves driver introductions. You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. If you put those things in and it rains 10 minutes into the A main, then you're the worst guy in the world.
Yep.
If you don't put it in, then it's like, hey, we raced our ass off and we're out of here at 9 o'clock. Now what do we do? Which everybody would still prefer that if they're going to be honest. You got to have the race in.
Yep.
Everything else is good, but you got to have the race in.
I think at the end of the day that there was probably not very many people here that didn't think it was going to rain. I mean, it didn't.
Yes.
Everybody thought it was going to rain. I heard about campers leaving the North Campground, quite a few. I heard people that said, well, we're getting out of here. It's going to rain out. We can't come Sunday. We're going to leave. Well, I'm sorry that if we added anything to that decision, but the end of the day was it's not an exact science. I think
No.
I said that. And I think the National Weather Service, the meteorologists, I think they did a great job. And they didn't just give us flippant advice. They gave us heartfelt stuff. I mean, where we were at, knowing we were worried about the fans. We got to get them to their cars. You can't wait till the rain, the bad weather hits you. You got to. That's part of your plan, right? So.
Yeah, and I don't suppose I really thought about it that way. I thought, oh, well, the track will get wet, or things will get slippery. But you think about the idea that if there's an electrical storm, or a tornado or any of those sort of things, that there's actually a human element here, a care factor that has to be involved from a spectator.
Yep.
And crew and your officials, because if you had to race on the Sunday, because that was an option at one point, right? Well, what were your options?
Well, a multitude of them, but by that point we were just down to next day because that's all we had to do was the Saturday events. So Sunday wasn't looking very good.
Yeah.
Didn't rain Sunday either. It rained around us again, but didn't rain here. We didn't know that, and really, I was like I said, I was looking into Tuesday on a few forecasts, but I kind of stuck with also the forecast we use. We used one. I think it's very good. I mean, it can be really wrong too, and like they all can. But it kind of rode along with the drier side of Saturday. So, hey, we want that one extra lap at the break. Got 26 laps in. I didn't care at that time. I think I let out a sigh.
Yeah.
But I did. I wanted to get the race in, of course, and I wanted to get the driver introductions. I talked to Tony. I was getting pretty worried about it. I seen that dark cloud coming, and I know everybody kept saying, "Look at that cloud." I said, "Well, there's no rain on the radar," but it was one of those systems that the National Weather Service said when the sun sets or starts setting, and the atmosphere the cap comes off of it. I mean, you could just have rain on top, develop basically on top of it.
I think that was the point that I was keen for you to describe. You actually had far more support and science behind what you had to do Saturday than people realised. You had the weather service were camped near the railway line, giving you up to the minute information.
Absolutely.
That's phenomenal.
It is.
And it says a lot about the Knoxville Nationals, to be honest, doesn't it, really?
Mm-hmm.
They're not down the road, at a small little racetrack giving that kind of update. You had one-to-one, what's going to happen? What do we do now?
Right.
That's amazing.
It is, and it's part of Marion County Emergency Management, and all the departments all support that, and local and everybody. So it's a great help. Yet it didn't rain, but you know what? That was just icing on the cake.
Good show too. Some 18-year-old kid from Oklahoma wins the biggest race on the planet.
Absolutely.
Did a hell of a job.
Yep. And Watson 78, a Knoxville local car won.
I watched Connie go off when that happened. That was very funny.
He's fifth in points and raced here all year with us.
Yeah.
And only would be higher in points, I think. Maybe it's higher than that. But several of them go to the Kings Royal, and hey, I know that team had other commitments, just like this weekend. I don't think they'll be here. They have other commitments.
Yeah.
And I understand those, absolutely.
We got it in, and it rocked.
Yes, we did. Now it's next year.
Yes.
Well, we got to get through late model nationals. It always
Yeah. Track championship this week, and then
track championship looks good. I hope people come out and realize, let's go down to Knoxville because we won't see sprint cars there until next April.
Yeah. So what do you got here, John?
Well, I've got a new design for the Nationals ad next year. Actually, it's the 1963 Nationals ad, which is just great. It's got a lot of stuff in it.
How about this?
No deals,
no gimmicks.
Absolutely.
Grand total $8,905.
Heck, we're only paying $7,000 this Saturday.
This is the original, the third annual national championship. Often Copied but never duplicated.
Yeah, where have I heard that one? No,
That is so cool.
it is. There's just a lot of stuff in here, and man, we talk about crowding a lot of information in. This is kind of cool. I love these old hand-drawn pictures.
Yeah.
Of USAC midget races. Don Branson, Jimmy Davies, Bob Tattersall.
Yeah, Bob Tatter. He raced Australia with distinction. That's he was a huge name. Two-gun Tattersall.
National Speed Sport News.
Look at that. So, I always admire the fact that we're running a Daytona 500 style event in sprint car racing with a very small team, comparatively. If we were NASCAR, there'd be a whole lot more people working in this racetrack.
Yes.
It is quite phenomenal. It's a 12-month a year. Now, when I thought, oh, what if this rained out? Like, it was in my mind. All I was thinking is how much work has gone into it for 12 months. You don't plan the Nationals the week before, John. This team works 12 months of the year.
Absolutely. We got a great team. Jim and Laura and Jason and all that crew. I mean, all of the work that goes in just to get the property ready and switched over from what I'm going to say a regular Saturday night to new banners, new stuff, just amazes me. And I think they do so well that they're best in the country, just like our track crew. And I think all of our officials. I got an award the other night, and the only thing I could say was, and one thing I don't mind, I mean, that's fine, but it's not for me. It's for everybody that works here at Knoxville Raceway.
Yeah.
I think this is the place that
Yes.
we all strive anyway to do our best job for, not anybody.
Safety team is world famous.
Absolutely. I know. I hate that I leave somebody out, but
No.
I mean, everybody, and it takes them all. Listen, I'm just impressed when we come off of winter and you haven't raced here, and we have a practice night, and it's almost like we need this practice night to get everybody back in shape, but yet we race the next night, and we could have raced that night. Everybody just knows what to do.
There is that danger of missing people, but I notice that the second I drive in the driveway of each day, Hulk Hogan there, the guy with the big mustache, and your gate team that patrol that is usually blazing hot. They're always in there, marshalling people in. People always try to BS their way through without the right passes. I'm usually that guy. But it starts there. It starts the second you get close to the property.
Yep.
It's a huge team with a very small number of people.
Yep, I've heard it likened to everything. I think you did it. One of them's kind of like an aircraft carrier. And
Yep.
everybody's got their job, or that thing doesn't work. Well, that's the way it is here. Everybody has their job.
Pride in the uniform is huge here.
It is. Got several of them and several different entities that I think they'd all take pride in their positions.
No deals, no gimmicks. All right? Next year.
All right, next year.
Damn, if there's no gimmicks, there's no me.
Well, no rain.
No rain, because at least we know we've got a plan. There's always a plan.
There is a plan, and everybody needs to know that. And I think the number one thing is we always have the fans in mind first, and then the teams next. And they're really close together, but I mean, the fans, we have to get them out, like we said, and the teams, we're going to do what we can. I hope next year I'm standing over there going, by the way, you're unloading every night because there's no rain.
That sounds good to me. Good to see you, mate.
You too.